Hi. It's that time again. It is actually October 3rd right now, so I'm a little behind. I mean, I haven't necessarily been busy with a lot of stuff, just a lot of stuff floating around. So I kind of forgot about the whole Q&A thing for a couple days. But anyway, I got a lot of questions this time. I usually get around like 40 or 50, but I got like 75 or something this time. And I mean, yeah, there's some people that asked like 8 or 9 questions. I mean, I won't be spending too much time on each question just because they're gonna take forever to do. But I'll do my best. I won't answer every single question. I did go through the list already. I deleted a couple that were just stupid questions. I'm sorry. Some of them were pretty stupid. Just to make it a little easier on me. So. Let's see. We'll start at the bottom. Alberto says, "What's your most favorite and your least favorite Blink album?" Most favorite's the self-titled, definitely. Least favorite, if you're gonna consider Fly Swatter, I'd probably say Fly Swatter. If not, probably Cheshire Cat. I liked Buddha a little more than Cheshire Cat personally. I don't know why. I just always kind of did. So I guess I'll go with that. Fabian asks, if you could bring back one of these 3 people back to life, who would it be? Cliff Burton, Kurt Cobain, or Bon Scott? Definitely not Kurt Cobain, because I don't think he was talented personally. Bon Scott's just not that good of a singer. He was just really unique, so AC/DC stood out because of it. But Cliff Burton was a really good bass player, so I'm going to go with Cliff Burton. Alexander wants to know my thoughts on ESP guitars. I've always thought they were pretty cool. I always wanted to try the Eclipses. I think that's the Les Paul type one. Those look pretty cool. Maybe I'd like to try out the I think it's called the Viper, whichever one's like the SG shape, because that one, I've never had good luck with Gibson SGs, but you know, I always liked the way they felt and like the way they played, so maybe I'd have better luck with those ones. I don't know, but I think they're pretty cool. Raymundo says, how much do you practice in a day or a week? Some days I don't even play. A lot of times I wake up around, like, if it's a work day, I work Monday through Friday now, so usually I'll wake up around like 7, go on the computer, eat breakfast, shower sometimes, so it doesn't leave me that much room to do much in the morning, and then I'm working till like 6 o'clock at night, usually, and then sometimes I'll play, sometimes I won't. Usually, lately, I'll just be like screwing around with little things, but other than that, nothing too crazy. I mean, I'd say maybe a couple hours a week, depending on how difficult my workday has been. So, Henry asks a few questions. What do I think of Alter Bridge? I personally think they're way better than Creed. Who isn't? They deserve more recognition than Creed. Also, if you haven't already, check out their new album. I probably won't check out their new album. Sorry. I don't really like Alter Bridge. I don't know. I never really liked them. I know someone asked a question. I think it was like what I think of Mark Tremonti, but I'll get to that later. But I don't know. Alter Bridge, Creed, any of those types of bands. I mean, I don't really see the appeal personally. I don't know. I don't really listen to a lot of stuff that's on the radio personally. What is the weirdest band name I've ever took notice to? This one's very vulgar, but I'll never forget the band name Anal Cunt. because who could honestly forget that? And I remember I was searching for guitar tabs. It was either for Gravedigger or Hammerfall. It was something a long time ago. And I was probably like 14, 15 maybe. And I'm just looking down like on this like heavy metal guitar tab site, and I see that name. I'm like, what does that even mean? But yeah, now I know what it means. What countries do I want to travel to if I can afford to? I'll go anywhere personally. Anything for a change. Sometimes I wouldn't mind. Specific ones, I mean, I'd like to go to the UK. That'd be fun. Japan would be cool. Rio de Janeiro would be cool. What's that? Is that in Brazil? I don't even remember. That would be cool too. Let me see. What fictional character do I feel like I identified to the most? I was trying to think of an answer to this one earlier. The answer that I thought of before this was Tony Stark, just because he's awesome and all the ladies want him. So I'm just gonna go with that one. Tony Black wants to know my top 3 favorite songs to play on guitar and bass. Well, first off, I mean, I don't really play bass that much, so I don't know if I really have favorite songs to play on bass. Guitar though, I really like some Stemage stuff. I know I've shown his stuff a few times on my page. He does a lot of metal versions of like Metroid songs and stuff like that. I just fucking love them. And this one that he does for the Metroid Prime 3 intro is just so cool. I just love the riff. I'll find it. Let me see. I'd play it if my guitar was in the right tuning, but it's not. I just love riffs like that. I just think they sound awesome. Hopefully you could hear what it was. But let's see. It's in another half step down, but basically it's like this. I actually did do a video of some of my like favorite riffs and stuff. I think I had like some Muse in there. I think I had like a Rage Against the Machine song in there, Freedom, I think, maybe. I don't remember. I just like stuff with like cool lower riffs that are really cool. So I don't know. I know that's not the best answer, but Joshua Grubbs says, do you have any tattoos or anything you want to get? I do have some tattoos. I have 3 right now. I got this one, which is Chrono from Chrono Trigger. You've probably seen, like, I got like a Chrono Trigger poster right there, and I got like a Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII thing right there, which is pretty sweet. And then I got another, this is from Chrono Trigger. This is the Kingdom of Zeal. It's an area of the game, maybe like halfway into the game you eventually get there. Which is really cool. And then I have, I got my octopus, which I'm sure most of you know what that is. So those are the 3 that I have. I definitely have more ideas for some, but who knows? I'm always wanting to buy guitar stuff more lately than tattoos. So I don't know. Let's see. Katie asks, what does she ask? If a genie granted me 3 wishes, what would I wish for? I would definitely wish for like my dream guitar setup. That would be sweet. I mean, I would probably just get like tons of different amps and heads and cabs and whatnot. I'd get like a bunch of different guitars. I mean, I would definitely get like a new Les Paul, and I'd get freaking everything personally. And I'd wish that I could like never get sick. That'd be nice. That would be nice. I don't know. Then okay, a third wish. I guess just wish that I was always happy, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty good at that already. But it'd be nice to just not ever be upset, because that can bring someone down, I guess. So there you go. So dream guitars, never get sick, and then just always be happy. So I'd be pretty set, I think. Timmy asks, why does high school suck? And what song do I want played at my funeral? High school doesn't suck, trust me. If you're still in high school, which you might be, I don't know, you do look pretty young, you're going to find out pretty fast that high school was easy as fuck. And that it was probably a hell of a lot better than life after. I mean, some people like it a lot more afterwards, some people don't. I mean, everybody handles it differently. And what song do I want played at my funeral? As long as it's not Taylor Swift, I'm cool with that. Michael asks, how could I have forgotten to do my Q&A? Yeah, like I said. And when are me and Odie gonna do a collaboration cover? No idea. If he ever wanted to do one, that'd be awesome. But I don't really see that happening personally. I mean, it really depends on him. So, I mean, if he wanted to do it, that'd be sweet. Alberto wants to know what my dream job is. I have no idea. Anything involving me playing guitar all day would be pretty sweet. Do I think Blink-182's I Miss You needs more cowbell? And this is from Merle. No, I don't. I think cowbells can be pretty annoying, actually. So, I'm not really a fan of them. Sean says, what's your favorite opening track out of all the Blink-182 albums? I really liked When I Was Young. I know that's technically not one of their full-length albums. So if I'm not going to count that, I'd probably go with Anthem Part 2, because that song's just awesome. I like it a lot more than Feeling This. I know tons of people like Feeling This. I do like the song, but I don't think it's nearly one of their best, personally. He also wants to know what my general thoughts on My Chemical Romance. I think they generally suck. Sorry. I just don't like them. I used to like them. The guitarist, Ray, is pretty good, but other than that, I don't know. I'm not really a fan. I saw him live a couple times. I saw him at Warped Tour in like 05. Then I saw them live with Alkaline Trio and Reggie and the Full Effect a long time ago, probably in like 04 or something. I don't know. I really grew out of them pretty fast. Let's see. Phil wants to know what my cat's name is. His name technically is Jack, but we call him Bib. What sort of pedal effect did I use to achieve the higher tone in your neighborhood's After Midnight cover? You mean like this one? You're looking at it. There's no pedals or anything. It's just the channel 4 on my amp, because all I'm switching between on my amp are just the different channels. So like for the clean section, I think I was using this one. This one too at some point. I think I used this one for the bridge. So it's just the amp. That's really it. The amp and the guitar. I wasn't using any effects or anything. Let's see. James wants to know what I think of the Gibson ES339 Studios. Um, I posted something about these not long ago, actually. Like when I first heard about them, maybe like a couple months ago. Um, Obviously, they're trying to do something to please the Tom DeLonge fans. I definitely like the 339s a lot because they're a little smaller. Definitely a lot easier to work with than something this big. Um, the color options aren't great. I do like the lighter or the dark blue. I don't necessarily like the black. And then they got like they don't have a pickup here. They got a dirty fingers here. But like the thing that they have right here, just like a little decoration. I think it's like a tortoiseshell type decoration. I just think it looks kind of stupid. But I really don't like that it doesn't have F holes because without the F holes, I just think it looks really weird. So if they had F holes, and maybe if it had a different pickup. I mean, I like the dirty fingers. I have it in the black Strat over there, but I don't think it's very versatile personally. I mean, at least they do have more than just one volume knob. They got the volume knob and the tone knob, so that's cool, I guess. But I don't know. I think if I got something like that, I might change the pickup out to something different. But obviously, like I said, they're definitely trying to appeal to like the Tom DeLonge types. I mean, it's not super expensive either. I think it was like $1,200, so that's not too bad for a Gibson anyway. James also asked, what did I think of what Billy Joe Armstrong did at iHeartRadio? I forget what he did, to be honest. Didn't he like bash Justin Bieber or something because they cut his set short, or their set short? That's fine with me. I fucking think Justin Bieber's a dick face. So, but yeah, the whole thing that he went into like rehab after that, I thought that was a joke. Frank wants to know if I have any pickups in mind for the green Strat. I read this earlier. I think you mean the blue one. The blue one I got right there. It's actually empty right now, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it from there. It's got nothing in it. But I do have some stuff in mind right there. I'm just trying to sell this damn Telecaster. Nobody wants it. But I'm going to be putting a humbucker-sized P90 in it, called the Stockholm. It's actually a bare knuckle pickup. And then I'll be putting two pretty high output single coils in there too. So it's going to be like a P90, but the size of a humbucker, and then two single coil pickups, but they're going to be pretty hot. So they're not going to really sound like a Strat or anything like that. So it's going to be pretty cool once they're finally in there. And what I'm actually going to be doing is through bare knuckle, you can actually have them pre-wire a pickguard for you, either HSS, so humbucker, single coil, or just 3 single coils, and they'll pre-wire the whole thing for you. All you have to do is just solder it to the input jack, and you're good to go. So it's pretty sweet. That's what I'm going to be doing. But it's going to be pretty expensive, so I have to sell that Telecaster if I'm going to do it. Aaron Woodcock. Is that your real name? Seeing as Blink-182 are big fans of The Cure, I was wondering what I think of them. I just want to throw this out there. Just because bands I like certain things doesn't necessarily mean I like them. I mean, like, people have asked me like what I think of like Screeching Weasel and stuff like that. Just because like Tom DeLonge says that like he used to listen to them all the time doesn't mean that I really ever gave a shit about them. But I mean, The Cure is pretty cool. I mean, they're The Cure. I mean, who doesn't like The Cure? I don't really go out of my way to listen to them, but if I hear a Cure song on the radio or something, that's fine with me. I think they're pretty cool. Mike wants to know, if you were in a room with Mark, Tom, and Scott, what song would I have them play? And if I was in a room with Mark, Tom, and Travis, what song would I have them play? If it was with Scott, I'd probably go with Waggy, because I think Waggy's awesome. And then, actually, you know, I think I would go with Carousel for both of them, just to prove how much fucking better Travis is than Scott, because Scott was not that good of a drummer, okay? Nobody, I mean, I can't say nobody, but there's so many people out there that just don't see that Scott did the same fucking thing in every fucking song. And, I mean, granted, like someone tried arguing with me, where it was just like, oh, that's what punk rock is, and I'm just like, punk rock doesn't mean you have to sound fucking boring in every song. So, I don't know. It would either be Carousel for both of them, or Waggy, and then I don't know, maybe like Asthenia or something. That'd be a cool one for Travis. Landon wants to know what I'm hoping for in the new Blink album. If it sounds like When I Was Young and Pretty Little Girl minus the fucking Yellow Wolf, I'll be cool with that because I think those songs are fucking awesome. And Disaster's really cool. Dogs Eating Dogs is really cool, but you can kind of tell how those songs are, like Dogs Eating Dogs is a Mark song, and Disaster is definitely kind of a Tom song. And I like the songs where you can't even really tell like who wrote which part because you can really tell that both of them added a lot to those songs. So that's what I like. And am I excited for New Angels on Airwaves? Not really. I never really am, to be honest. I was excited for like the first album, but I don't really care about Angels on Airwaves that much. I mean, when it comes out, I'll listen to it, but I'm not like sitting here twiddling my thumbs waiting for it or anything. Jordan has like 700 questions for me. What's my favorite Sum 41 member? Dave, because he was the best, and he's the only reason that band was ever good. Have I seen the Ava movie Love? Yeah, and it sucked. Do I like My Chemical Romance? Can I solve a Rubik's Cube? I don't think I ever have. I know how to do it. So, I mean, if I was patient enough, then yeah, I could figure it out. I would love it so much if he randomly played a riff. Alright. There you go. What do I think about the Ava song called Diary? This is from Aaron. I've got a bunch from Aaron here. I think I listened to it like once, and I thought it was kind of pointless, to be honest. So, what do I think of the end of Breaking Bad? I loved it, but I'm sad it's gone because that show is awesome. What do I think of Dragon Force? I think Dragon Force is one of the most overrated bands in metal, personally. If you want a good metal band, listen to Dragon Land. Dragon Land is a lot better. My favorite Foo Fighters song? I don't know if I really have one, to be honest. I really like Monkey Wrench is awesome. My Hero is awesome. Learn to Fly. I know I'm saying like all singles, but I don't know. They have really good singles. So, what do I think the best pickups for an SG are? Depends on what sound you're looking for, personally. If you get like an SG Standard, I don't really think the pickups in there sound that bad, but they don't sound that good either. But like I said, it definitely depends on what kind of sound that you're looking for. If you're looking for like a classic rock kind of sound, they don't sound that bad. But if you wanted something for like metal or more for like punk, I think you could find something better for them. So it really depends on what you like. DC or Marvel? Marvel. I just think Marvel's cooler. Do I have a tattoo on my arm? Yeah, I kind of showed that already. What was the first guitar I ever owned? It was a Squier Strat. It was Baltic Blue. So it was like a really dark blue. It was a piece of shit. Jordan, a few more questions from him. What kind of phone do I have? I have a Galaxy S3. Do I like airplanes? I don't really understand the question. In general, airplanes are pretty cool, I guess. Do I like flying on airplanes? No. Because it's cramped, it's smelly, it's annoying, takes forever, they're never on time, they're a pain in the ass, and they piss me off. Do I like Weezer? Generally, yeah, Weezer's pretty cool. Same thing with The Offspring. He says that one. I don't really like System of a Down. I don't really get into them. My favorite ice cream. I've got a few favorites. I really like just like a plain vanilla soft serve with like chocolate sprinkles, and then maybe like some hot chocolate, some hot fudge. That's a good combo. I really like Ben and Jerry's fish food too. Those two, like either of those, I'm really good with. And then this local place I go to sometimes has a really good one. It's I think it's vanilla ice cream with M&Ms, cookie dough, and then like hard fudge pieces in it. Oh my god. Just bury me in it. Lucas says, who's a better guitar player? Dave Grohl, Chris Shiflett, Billy Joe Armstrong, or Chris Chaney? I'm going to say 100% Chris Chaney because the guy is a maniac. If some of you don't know who Chris Chaney is, he's from The Living End. You could look up The Living End E-Boogie. It's just pretty much like a guitar solo that they do live a lot. I'll see if I have... I do have one on here. See Living End again so bad. Like, there's not a lot of concerts that I really care to go to anymore, but I want to see Living End again so bad. But yeah, Chris Chaney's awesome. I'm thirsty, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna get myself a drink. Oh, good God, that's good. Because I know someone's going to ask, that is half lemonade, half iced tea. So, let's see. Say something funny. Shit pickle. Pedram says, what kind of video and audio equipment do I use for recording? For recording what? These types of videos? You're looking at it. Or I guess you're not looking at it because you're looking at me. I'm looking at it. I just use a Canon PowerShot camera. I get the video from that and the audio from that, so nothing really special. So that's it. Have I ever heard of them Crooked Vultures? I've heard the name. I never checked them out. And what do I think of Queens of the Stone Age? I've heard a couple good songs from them. I haven't listened to them in a long time, though. I bought one of their albums when I saw that No One Knows song. I think that's the one that they had with... well, that album had Dave Grohl on it. That was pretty cool. He's a really good drummer. What do I think of Mark Tremonti as a guitar player? This is from Jim. And Henry chimes in saying Mark Tremonti is the fucking man. Alter Bridge for the win. I guess he's a good guitar player. I still just don't really like the music personally. Donald wants to know what my thoughts on Gibson bass guitars are. Ugly as fuck. I don't know. I always grew up just seeing bands playing Fender, sometimes Rickenbacker basses. So like anytime I saw a Gibson bass, I just thought it was ugly as hell. But I've never played one, so I can't really comment on more than that. Ryan wants to know what I think about Grestche guitars. I've never played one personally. I think they sound pretty cool, but they're really unique sounding. So like if I bought one, I feel like it wouldn't come in handy that much personally. I'm sure they play really nice, but I've never really seen the need for me to get one. Brandon wants to know, over the years I've been playing guitars and for the ones that I've owned and or still own, which ones were my favorite and what was my least favorite. My favorite is still just going to be the Orange Strat. I love that thing. I really still love my Les Paul. Least favorite, I remember when my parents got divorced, they both made a decent amount of money off the house when they sold it. So each parent said that they were going to buy me a guitar. So I'm like, okay. I got a PV Wolfgang from my dad because I was obsessed with Eddie Van Halen at the time. And it was a really nice guitar, but I fucking hate whammy bars. They're just such a pain in the ass, especially Floyd Rose, because I just want to plug a guitar in and play. I don't want to have to deal with a whole bunch of little mechanics just to get it to play. So setting it up and just changing the strings was just a nightmare. But it did play and sound really nice. But that wasn't the guitar I'm talking about. My mom bought me, or my mom asked me what my dream guitar was. At the time, I really wanted a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. And she's just like, oh, how much is it? I'm like, $2,500. She's like, I don't think so. So, I ended up settling on a Fender American Deluxe Strat. It had, it was humbucker, single coil. It was the ugliest sunburst you've ever seen. I actually might have a picture of it somewhere. Maybe. Because it is a hilarious picture. Oh, I do. Look at that. Nice, huh? It was a really nice guitar, but it was not the guitar for me at all. It was just the worst decision I could have made for a guitar. So that was definitely one of my least favorites. So when he says, and what was one that I always wanted to get but never got around to buying? I still just really want a Les Paul Custom. I think that's still my dream guitar. I'll get one of these days. Other than that, I really do want another Explorer. I do miss my Explorer. Other than that, nothing too much. I do, as little as I play bass guitar, I don't really like the Mark Hoppus that much. I mean, it's a really nice bass. It looks beautiful, but I like jazz basses more, personally. When I say that, I mostly mean the neck, but I mean pickups too. I realize it has a jazz body on it. But the jazz neck is a little bit smaller. It's a little easier to use. And I just think the smoother pickups of a jazz bass sound better. So I've always wanted to try a Geddy Lee bass. I think that'd be really sweet. Christina wants to know, kill, fuck, or marry. My choices are Tom DeLonge, Billy Joe Armstrong, and Derek Whibley. I don't know why people keep asking me these questions, because I'm not gay. So, kill them all. I don't care. Because I don't want to fuck any of them, and I don't want to marry any of them. Nathan wants to know, Seymour Duncan Invaders or Gibson Dirty Fingers? Like I said before, I mean, it depends on the guitar. It depends on a lot of things. Personally, I like the Invader more. But I mean, if you're gonna put something like the Invader, which has a lot of bass and has a lot of mid to it, if you were gonna put that in like a Les Paul or something, it's gonna sound really muddy, because a Les Paul's already like a dark, dense sounding guitar. So those two like dark, dense sounding things together is just going to sound like crap. So the Invader in like a Strat, which is usually a lot brighter, it mixes a lot better. So that's why I like it better. In this guitar, I mean, it sounds good in this guitar. I still really want to upgrade the pots in the 335 eventually. I think it'll sound a little bit better. But the Dirty Fingers, I mean, I like it. It's better for like an all-around pickup. When I say that, I mean like all around for like it could sound pretty good in like any type of guitar, because it's not like over the top for bass, it's not over the top for highs or mids or anything, in my opinion. So I think it's good for a Strat, it's good for a Les Paul, it's good for something like this, but I typically I like the sound of the Invader better. So that's what I gotta say. John wants to know what my favorite thing to do in Grand Theft Auto 5 is. I've been saying this a lot lately. Definitely going up north and stealing an ATV from somebody and just running, or not running, but just driving over hills like at top speeds, because it's just so much fun. I love it. Tom wants to know what my dream guitar is. And then David says, he answered that already last month because it was my question. I always really wanted a Les Paul custom, but lately I've noticed like there's been one thing that I've really been weary of if I ever bought a Les Paul custom, is because it's got a 50s neck. I don't know what this has on it. I think it's got a 60s style neck on it. But my Les Paul over there has a 60s style neck on it. And when that guitar came out, it's a Les Paul Classic. You could have it either in a 50s neck, which is thicker, it's a little bigger, or the 60s, which is a little slimmer and easier to play. And people who like the 60s usually say they hate the 50s, so I don't know if I'd ever really want the Les Paul custom because of that. I've never tried a 50s neck that I know of, but they came out with the Les Paul Classic Custom for like a year or something, and that's actually the next guitar I really want to buy. I think someone asked me the next guitar that I'm planning on buying. That's what I really want, but they stopped making them. You can find them on eBay, but so it's kind of it's going to be a ways down the line, if anything. Maybe if I get a really good tax return next year, I can think about it. Because I mean, last year I had my tax return got me pretty much all of that. So sometimes I do get a good amount back. But anyway, the reason why I'd really be interested in the Classic Customs, because it looks almost exactly like a custom. I mean, the only difference is it doesn't have like a back. It doesn't have the binding on the back. It only has the binding on the front. And then it has nickel or chrome hardware, I'm not sure, instead of the gold hardware. And other than that, they look like customs. So I really like that. But it's got a 60s neck on it. So it doesn't have a 50s fat neck on it, which I don't think I would like. And then the other difference is they have, instead of a rosewood fingerboard, it's actually a baked maple. So it's a maple neck, but it looks like a rosewood neck. And that's actually a big thing too, because if you have a rosewood neck on a guitar, it's definitely going to give you a little bit smoother of a sound, where a maple neck, even if it's going to be a baked maple neck, it's going to give you a little bit brighter of a sound. And it's definitely going to make certain things easier. Like it'll make like pinch harmonics and stuff like that easier. Like, oh, okay. It's kind of hard to do on certain guitars, but in most cases it's easier to do on a maple fretboard. So that's pretty much what I'd really like to get. Either a Les Paul Custom or a Classic Custom I'd love to get. Rachel wants to know if she is my cupcake. You're probably not even going to watch this, so I'm going to say no and see if you say anything. Megan wants to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I love you? 4,000. How about that? All right. That's the first set of questions, and I got like another 10 or so here. Lackland wants to know what I do while I'm pooping. It depends. If I'm home, sometimes I'll read a magazine. Sometimes I won't. I stare out the window a lot. Kind of watch my neighbors do stuff, which is weird, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm in pain too much to even do anything. But if I'm at work, I'm on my phone usually. Sometimes Reddit or Instagram or whatever. Kane wants to know if I play drums, or can I play drums? No, I wish. Warren wants to know who my favorite Grand Theft Auto 5 character is. If you mean out of them 3 main characters, I'd go with Michael. But if like any character, I'd probably go with Beverly, who is the, if you don't know, it's the guy that does the paparazzi missions. I think he's pretty funny. Sam wants to know, what kind of computer do I have? I don't know, a Dell. I don't know much about computers. I just use them. Some Dell. And do I prefer Mac or Windows? Windows usually. It's just easier to use. I'm so used to it. Geomill posted a picture that Tom DeLonge posted on Instagram yesterday about a boxcar racer thing. It says, did I see that? And even if Tom's just messing around, what are my thoughts on a possible reunion? I doubt it's going to happen, personally, because when Boxcar Racer happened in the first place, it really almost broke up the band anyway, because Mark really saw it as Tom kind of abandoning him, especially since Tom had Travis do the drums on the album. So I don't think it's going to happen. It would be awesome if it did, but I don't think it's going to happen. Matthew wants to know what my thoughts on Bayside's albums Shudder and The Walking Wounded. Shudder's cool. I don't exactly remember what songs are on it. Let me see. Shudder. I really like this one. That's a good one. The Ghost of St. Valentine. I haven't listened to this album that much. I've listened to like the newer stuff a lot more, or Sirens and Condolences. That's a good album. And Walking Wounded, they're great songs, but there's like one summer, or actually I think it was a winter. There was one span of time where I had a couple friends that did nothing but listen to that fucking album. And like if I hear this song, some days I get crazy, it just reminds me of that, and it annoys the shit out of me. Good songs, but just reminds me of my friends being really annoying at the time. If I were to get a new guitar, what do I think I would go for next? I already mentioned that. Definitely a Les Paul Classic Custom. That's what I've been looking at lately. Danny wants to know, out of Plus 44, Angels and Airwaves, Blink, Boxcar Racer, which of these bands' music is more challenging to play on guitar, and why? I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, Angels and Airwaves, you got to really figure out. You got to figure out like delay times for a lot of their songs. Sometimes it's not that hard, and then he uses a lot of effects and type of stuff like that. So in that aspect, it can be a little challenging. Plus 44 is kind of difficult because, excuse me, there's almost always 2 different guitar parts going, because Craig and Shane just almost never played the same riffs at the same time. So that's kind of hard to cover just by myself, stuff like that. I mean, it's not necessarily hard to play, Blink definitely had some harder songs back in the day, like Touchdown Boy and Wasting Time, stuff like that, but I don't know. Travis Barker, in my opinion, is he the best drummer around today? Not really. I mean, he's really good, but I mean, there's so many good drummers out there that, I mean, most of them, I'm gonna say it, most of them are probably metal drummers that are just super talented, because you have to be talented to be a metal drummer. I mean, you can be pretty good and be like a pop punk drummer, but I mean, there's so many good drummers out there. It's really hard to just say that Travis is the best. He also asked, if Blink were to record an acoustic album of old songs from Dude Ranch, Buddha, etc., would I buy it? Hell yeah, I'd buy it. I think that'd be pretty sweet. I think it'd be cooler if they just re-recorded them not acoustic, though. If they just redid like Pathetic and Boring and Waggy and whatever else. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think I know what you're trying to say in this question, Ozzy, but I'm just going to say it the way you wrote it. Would I, the future, start a band of your own? In the future, will I start a band of my own? I'm going to assume that's what you meant. Maybe. I mean, my work schedule is definitely a little bit better now than it used to be. It used to be I could be working till like 11 at night some nights, or I could be working as early as like 4 in the morning, and it fucking sucked. So I only work like 9 to 6 now, so I mean, it's a lot easier. Don't bother asking what my job is, because I'm not going to tell you. But so maybe I've been thinking about some stuff lately. I mean, maybe getting back into like thinking about like recording, or maybe not recording, but at least like writing my own songs again, because I haven't done that in like 3 years maybe. It's been a long time, so it's possible. Could I imagine Tom DeLonge playing Fender again? Not really. That'd be sweet if he did, but I don't see it happening. That was from Cuba. Ryan wants to know what my opinion on Grestche is. Oh yeah, I already answered that. He said that twice. I think I got another question since I started doing this, so I'm just going to double check. Let's see. Yep, let's see. Frank wants to know, not sure if the time is over for asking questions. Very, very close. But have you heard of the band Balancing the Different yet? I can honestly say I haven't, and seeing that they have 331 likes on Facebook, I can honestly say that most people probably haven't heard of them either. So, I mean, if you wanted to show me, you can link me one of their songs if you want. I mean, that's fine with me. So, I'll check them out if you want to send me a link. There's something else on here. Dave said, Beavis or Butthead? Definitely Beavis. Definitely Beavis. I'm pretty sure someone asked me another question, but I think it's like way down here. Maybe not. So if I missed you, sorry. Like I said, I got rid of some of the questions that just didn't make any sense, or I've answered 100 times, or just were smart ass questions. So thanks for watching. This was a really long video. I don't even know how long this video is. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys checked out that full Neighborhoods album that I put up very recently. That took a lot of work. And so I just hope you enjoyed this video as well, and next month, if I don't forget, I'll be doing another one of these. So thanks for watching, and if you got any more questions for me between now and then, I'll always answer anything you got. So thanks.